Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now, probably we all knew that the Russian government is linked financially to the Wagner Group, the Wagner private military company or mercenary, however we want to call them. But we didn't know the extent. Now, according to Russia Today, to Vladimir Putin himself, he tells us that the Wagner Group was fully funded by Russia. Fully funded. Well, I didn't know that extent and this information, and that would have them linked for some time. Even though right now it seems like Putin tries to, not Putin, the Russian military, the defense ministry tries to disarm Wagner. So let's see what Putin said and the extent to which they were fully funded. What does that mean? This article comes from June 27, 2023. Wagner Group was fully funded by Russia, Putin says. Evgeny Prigozhin earned billions of rubles from government contracts while using state money to pay fighters, Vladimir Putin said. Well, and whose fault that is? Do you own a mirror? The Wagner Group, but you can do that and you can have control over what's going on, and then when they get out of line you just smack them. The Wagner Group was fully dependent on state support, Russian President Vladimir Putin said at a meeting with the country's military in the Kremlin on Tuesday. The private military company's fighters were supplied and paid by the defense ministry and the state budget, he added. Holy moly macaroni. Between May 2022 and May 2023, the Russian authorities allocated 86.26 billion rubles, which is $1.04 billion, for wages and incentive payments for the Wagner fighters, the president revealed. Obviously, I don't think that Prigozhin can disprove that unless he shows up in his Telegram channel and he says that. He's going to have full authority over all this. So whatever he says, the other guy really can say, no, it's not true. I don't know, the damage has been done already. Meanwhile, Wagner founder Evgeny Prigozhin, who also owns the Concord Catering Company, earned billions of rubles on state contracts, Putin added. And I'm quoting Putin. When the upkept of the Wagner Group rested on the shoulders of the state, the Concord owner received 80 billion rubles, $960 million, from the state in a year by supplying food products to the army, the president said. So basically, he was the provider with food, and look how much he got. I hope that no one, and I'm quoting, I hope that no one stole anything while fulfilling these contracts. End quote. He continued, adding that the authorities would certainly dig into it. That means if we find, Mr. Prigozhin, that you had a sticky hand, then we will just do what we did to Al Capone. Even though that guy was charged and convicted on tax evasion, this guy probably will be charged on more than that. So, Putin is not done with Prigozhin. Prigozhin's days, I think, are numbered. Very much numbered. Last Friday, Prigozhin sent his Wagner Group to march towards large Russian cities with the stated goal of removing several generals from whom he accused of treason. So he had a problem with the generals, but the general is not appointed by the president. Several military aircraft were shot down during the rebellion. The mutiny ended the following day through the mediation of Belarusian President Lukashenko. Prigozhin explained the decision as a desire to avoid major bloodshed. Putin stated that the authorities would not prosecute Prigozhin or his troops and invited Wagner fighters to join the regular Russian army. Alternatively, they will be allowed to leave active service or follow Prigozhin to Belarus, which has agreed to host him. On Tuesday, Putin praised the Russian army and security officers for preventing a quote-unquote civil war. The response allowed all critical defense and government systems to continue operating, the president added. So, it's kind of like, what was the name of that company that Dick Cheney was linked to? He was a CEO of that, what was that, oil or company? I can't remember, based in Texas. I used to know it. I don't know it anymore. It's not Reathon, that's a military thing, but I can't remember the name of that, where he was linked, and that company got some contracts to rebuild Iraq. And it was a big deal, and for about a few days, and then the mass media closed the case, never mentioned it. So here we have Putin and the Russians doing, okay, you got the contracts. On the other hand, Prigozhin is a private individual. He can have a business, and if he's getting the contracts, who gave me the contracts? It was you. Why? I provided the services. But the only problem that Putin has here is not that he or whomever, the government, the defense ministry agreed to those contracts. Maybe it was a competition. If it was not Prigozhin, maybe it was not someone else. It was Prigozhin. Okay. So since it was Prigozhin over there, then he got tangled, and I think he got a little bit ahead of his skis. Or I don't want to portray Prigozhin as a Russian hero by any stretch of imagination here, but maybe he wanted to warn Putin about something. But I think Putin knows what's going on, and if Putin, how should I put it, if he can't do something, it's useless to try to warn him. Because Prigozhin says that, oh my God, Putin is just kept in the dark by the elites in Moscow and Russian military. What's his name? Shoigu and Gerasimov, the two generals that Prigozhin had problems with. I don't know if that's the case. So what, you're going to show up with your 25,000 people drunk, according to Western media, drunk and ex-convicts and lazy and rowdy and so on, you're going to go and fight a whole Russian army? I mean, that's dumb, but it works with some in our society. They just bite it, club, and that's it. It's unfeasible. It cannot happen. Unless it breaks the Russian military and parts of it join Prigozhin, and then you're going to have a civil war. There was not a civil war. There was a company, a guy who said certain things, and I think he was bluffing. He was trying to make the first move and see how the other guy reacts. And then, oh no, actually I'm just directing this little thing about against these guys right here, and you reacted calling me a traitor. I'm right now. That's what happened. Prigozhin said, I'm going to march, I'm going to make little steps here, and then see who's jumping in. Are you with me? Are you, no, join? No, yeah, The other guy says, you know what? We're still a monolith here. We didn't splinter, and I'm going to f you up now. It's my turn. And Prigozhin said, excuse me, can I speak with Putin? Oh, he doesn't want to talk to me? Shit. That's how it works. And he knows. I mean, even if you're under the influence of some substances, and all that, after you sober up, you realize that, hey, I really fucked up. I have no power. I can't challenge the whole thing over there. But I'm pretty sure there were many other connections, and hey, are you going to join? What are you going to do? Are you with us? And the Western probably buzzed all these guys in the meantime, trying to create this little civil war, and it didn't work. Do you think that Putin is just going to do like this to Prigozhin for that? No, I don't think so. I'm 99% certain that Putin let it go now. It just goes down, and then boom. And probably he's going to do it legally. He's not going to assassinate this guy. He's going to get him with, he already mentioned, I hope he didn't stick his hand into all this. That means we're going to investigate, and guess what? We're going to find that you bought, I don't know what kind of cars, ladies of the night, properties and vacations, and we're gonna call you a corrupt person, and we're gonna put you in prison again for about 20 years, and you die in prison. And I'm gonna, and everything was gonna be in the news. Hey, we found this. Hey, the Russian state, the institutions, functioning institutions, found this. Pop, 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 come, we're gonna arrest you, bring you in front of a judge. You're gonna have your defense over there. We're gonna have the evidence, and you're gonna be charged and convicted, guaranteed you. And then you're gonna go legally over there, like Navalny, the opposition leader who violated his parole, right? And then when he came back from Germany, he got arrested, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's abuse." No, you violated your parole. If you are in any normal country, click, like United States of America, and you are on parole, and you leave the country without telling your parole officer you're leaving, and you return, you're gonna be in jail, and you're gonna do the full sentence. You're gonna serve the full charge sentence, whatever you had. That's how it works in the free world, the beautiful United States of America. So what did you expect, that Navalny is gonna have a preferential treatment? Yes, that's how these guys think. That makes you think, wait a minute. So you think the guys should not have followed what you do because he's special? And besides, he was also charged, Navalny, that little weasel. I understand that these things work. If you're my opposition, I'm going to try to get you. Remember, we live in the United States of America. We have right now, Trump here, and this guy has been trying to get him behind bars since what, 2015? Only then, before nothing. Before it was okay. Now we challenge the status quo here. Now we're going to you up. And the intelligence community is very good at doing that. Covertly or, in open court. Go back to these guys. I think Prigozhin will be legally charged and convicted for something the Russian state will find. Like here, certain things are put to the side. We don't investigate. We don't know anything. Oh, you pleaded, okay, no problem. We're gonna just like this. Biden Jr. and the big guy is gonna be okay. Say what? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.